Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. You're listening to another video for League of Legends, this one featuring Oriana. This is a game that was sent to me by my friend Speaker, and he will be playing Oriana in this one using the username Sideberg. This is taken from a pre-made team of 5 in a normal game. Speaker's playing alongside Warlord, who's playing as Caitlyn, Termith, who's playing as Soraka, Oduz, who's playing as Lee Sin, and Lovely, who's playing as Kennen. Lovely is the new username of the person who used to be known as Young Diva, for people who might have followed this channel. They are matched up a team consisting of Swain, Mordekaiser, Amumu, Caitlyn, and Sono. So the double Caitlyns indicating that this is indeed a normal game and not a ranked game. But should be an interesting game nonetheless, and we should be just about ready to get started with this one. Now, the most recent news in the League of Legends world, if you've been watching this weekend, there has been the big competition going on at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. I think it's called the IEM series or something like that, but a big tournament competition with the top teams playing. If you haven't had a chance to watch the games, they are up on the Riot website. You can find the links to the streams pretty easily. I encourage you to check them out. There were some really good matches, a lot of high-level play going on both sides, and some really exciting stuff. So if you didn't have a chance to watch that, I definitely encourage you to go check it out. CLG, Counter Logic Gaming, of ultimately ending up the winner at the end of that, but the matches were really fun, a lot of back and forth, some good play, especially from the North American teams, and you get a chance of what champions are highly prized by the different teams at the highest levels of competition. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring that up is that Oriana has been getting pretty much insta-banned in pretty much all of the games in the Gamescom tournament, and in the few games where Oriana was not banned, was able to be played, Oriana was played extremely successfully. So Oriana considered to be a very, very strong champ at the moment, one of the strongest champs, possibly the strongest ability power AP caster in the game right now. So you know what that means. She's probably going to be getting nerfed relatively soon, but for the moment, Oriana considered a really strong champ, and we'll go through and look at that. As far as the team we have here, this is a team not too much different from what you might have seen at Gamescom. Caitlyn, Soraka, a very popular bottom lane. You saw a ton of Caitlyn and a ton of Soraka play. Lee Sin has also been very highly prized by the top teams. He was banned a lot of the time, getting played in a lot of games. Lee Sin being played both as a jungler and as sort of a tanky bruiser in top lane. The only champ that seems out of place would be Lovely on Kennen. Kennen considered to be underpowered. But other than that, if they had stuck, say, Udyr or Aurelia up there in top lane, this could be one of the teams that has been getting a lot of play at the highest level of competitive League of Legends. So anyway, this video going to feature Oriana, so we're going to talk about Oriana, talk about her skills. What is it that makes her so strong? Well, a couple of things. She has great range. That's the first thing that jumps out. Oriana's mechanics are based on her use of this ball right here, all about her Clockwork ball, Oriana the Clockwork girl. So there it is, Speaker's picked up the ball again. Great for scouting. You might have noticed Speaker tossed the ball into this brush. The ball does give vision when you place it, so one of the strong abilities. Just has great range, great harassment potential in lane, so we'll see that as that goes on. I'll start by talking about some of the different skills. The first one that Speaker has put his point in, and the first one you should put your point in if you start with Oriana, is her Q, Command Attack. This is basically how you target, how you move the ball around, so this is what sets up all of your combos. You point on the map where you want it to go and just move the ball, and if it hits a target there, it deals damage. So that's her most basic one. Her next one that you usually want to skill is her W attack. This is called Command Dissonance. What it is wherever the ball is, it releases an electrical pulse that deals magical damage to nearby enemies and leaves behind a field that slows. So Oriana's most basic combo is Q to move the ball, and then instantly W to deal damage. So like right there, see that? And right here, Speaker's going to do his combo. He's again going to get his Ignite flash in, and that is actually going to draw First Blood right there. So an early First Blood in this match, set up by Oriana's basic combo, just Q and then W. Then Speaker was able to drop in an Ignite as well on his F key here, and then he was able to flash in to get in one extra auto attack just to make sure he got the kill. So very nice use of Oriana's abilities. Her basic combo, like I said, but still effective nonetheless. Now, one of the other reasons why that was set up is notice how Speaker started with Sapphire Crystal and Health Pots. The Swain player, notice this, started with Doran's Ring. So no health pots, no ability to get back health in a lane, which makes harass extremely effective. And that's a good reason why, if you're going to be laning in a solo lane, you pretty much always want to take a solo pot or some kind of health pot. Oh, minions interrupting the recall back to base, and that was a little silly. Speaker really should have gone back right there. He could have gotten a ruby crystal towards his catalyst, which is surely the first item he's building, and then also gotten boots right there. Instead, he's going to stick around in the lane. So that was a little bit silly. Probably should have just taken a couple more steps back, and he could have been back to the lane like right now. with full mana. Anyway, still not that big a deal. There's the basic combo again. Now, as for one other thing I'm going to point out, notice how Lee Sin is jungling. Otis is playing jungle Lee Sin here. One of the big advantages of Lee Sin, why he's so highly prized as a jungler, is he doesn't need blue buff at all to jungle. He's pretty much completely independent of blue. So what you saw a lot at Gamescom was the teams that were running Lee Sin as junglers can just give the blue buff to their AP carries very early. Like, notice this is 4.5 minutes and Speaker already has his blue. Normally your jungler would need the blue buff. For instance, the other team is running a Mumu, and Mumu is very blue dependent. Mumu is going to need to use that blue for himself to jungle in the early phases of the game. Lee Sin does not need that, so Speaker can get blue buff very early on. He can just spam his skills, and look at this harass right there. That's why Oriana is so powerful. Toss the ball over QW, and it has tremendous range. The ball moves so fast, it's almost impossible to dodge, and it's just so difficult to lane against Oriana right now. So Speaker should be able to get in some more harass. The only real limitation is how much mana you have, and so by having Lee Sin as the jungler and Speaker taking that early blow, it's just going to make it extremely difficult for this Swain player, Love and War, to be able to lane here. Okay, as far as Oriana's other skills, right there, another nice QW combo. Her E is a shield, command, protect. Now what this does is you attach the ball to someone. Oh, Love and War getting really low, but looks like he's going to be safe. But now Speaker can start zoning, and Oriana's also great for zoning. Anyways, I was saying on her W ability is a shield. Oriana can attach the shield to someone. It gives them extra armor and magic resist, and then it also shields them for damage for a few seconds, 4 seconds. This also scales really well off of AP ratios. Oh, right there, Amumu invaded the jungle. It looks like he took the red buff, and he was able to get out. So nothing coming of that particular attempt. That's what everybody was focusing on. So it's a really powerful shield. It does scale off of ability power, so as you get more AP, you get more shield off of it too. And in late game, it can just be ridiculous. Like, Oriana is shielding herself for several hundred points of damage, you know, 2, 3, 4, even 500 points of damage on her shield. So it's a really useful skill, and the other thing is, it's another way to move the ball. So if she puts the shield on herself, the ball comes back to her, or you can move it onto another teammate as well. So you can set up even more elaborate combos with the ball. You can toss it out with Q, get the slow with W, and then immediately bring the ball back to you on E, and it will do damage. See how at the bottom it says enemies the ball's passes through along the way are damaged for 75% of the shield value. So you can hit people with QW and then pull the ball back to yourself with E and actually hit them 3 times in rapid succession. And all of those abilities scale off of, all 3 of these skills scale off of ability power. Anyway, right there is the Oriana ultimate right there, and it's going to force a Swain Flash. So the ultimate commands Shockwave. Oriana deals area of effect damage and pulls people and redirects people, flings them into the air a set distance in the direction of the ball. It's a bit of a weird skill to use because it will pull people towards the direction of the ball. So normally what you want to do is toss the ball just short of where they are and then have the ball pull it back towards them. Like, have it pull it towards you in order to redirect them. See right there, Speaker used the ball to shield himself and move it around, get a little extra damage in there. So it's a very useful ultimate as well. Well, that's some nice farming there too to get that last cannon minion. Very useful ultimate, does deal area of effect damage. It doesn't deal that much pure damage, but it does reposition people, so you can use it as sort of a mini redirection like an Alistar headbutt. Doesn't redirect people that much, but you do get a slight pulling them towards you, or you can push them away too, but you usually want to use the ultimate to pull people towards you. So again, really strong abilities. Up in top lane, Otis lovely, getting a kill on the Mordekaiser player as I move the camera up there. But like I said, really useful. It does have good AP ratios on the ult. And then on Oriana's passive, this actually also scales off of AP as well. So if I highlight it, Oriana's auto attacks deal additional damage based off her ability power, and then subsequent attacks against the same target can stack up to 3 times. So she actually has 5 different abilities that scale off of AP. Her Q, her W, her E, her R, and her passive all scale off of AP. Now Speaker is running ability power quints and also ability power per level glyphs. So AP, flat AP quints, and then AP per level blues. Pretty standard on caster. So even though he hasn't built any AP items, he has 32 AP now. So he gets 21 bonus damage off his passive, then 19 extra damage through AP ratio on Q, 16 on W, 19 on E, and then 22 on R. And we'll look back at how those change throughout the game as it goes on, and as Speaker gets more ability power. So anyway, like I said, very strong, very strong. Okay, anyway, Swain has come out, and he is running his ultimate. Looks like he's picking a fight here, but notice how Swain's going through his mana very quickly. There's the ult pulling him back, and now Swain's out of mana, so he can't do anything. He can't get out of this. Otis is going to come in and counter gank this, and it's going to be a pretty easy kill right there. So Swain playing very aggressively for whatever reason and not working out there. And the biggest issue in the fight is he just ran out of mana. I mean, yes, Otis was there, had a nice job, a nice counter gank. Otis still invading. He's been playing really aggressively on this Amumu, going into his jungle, invading, stealing his stuff, stealing his wraiths right there, forcing Amumu to run his blue buff right there, and just doing a lot of damage. Lee Sin does so much damage, especially when combined with Oriana harass as well. So going to force Amumu back right there, and there's actually a little red wraith that no one has taken, and it looks like Speaker's going to claim that. Poor little wraith. Anyway, this game going quite well. As far as the farming so far in middle lane, Speaker's ahead 55, and Swain only has 30, and that's a direct consequence of Swain being forced out of the lane. I actually think he's itemized correctly. The double Dorans and boots is exactly what he should have bought, but he's just behind now, and it's going to be very tough for him to lane, especially if Speaker gets another blue buff. And indeed, look, their blue is indeed up again down there in the jungle to the left. Anyway, I'll check out the other lanes. Amumu coming over here to bottom, but it's well warded. A nice warded dragon going to reveal Amumu, and he steps on a trap anyway. Down here in bottom lane, Warlord on 54 minion kills, still just has the Doran's Blade. The other Caitlyn, 61 minion kills, so a little bit ahead, but that Caitlyn has been back to buy and has picked up a BF sword, so going to have the advantage in lane. Soraka Sona not doing much, just doing the passive farm. Up here in top lane, Lovely on 65 minion kills, has a Hextech Revolver. Mordekaiser building very similarly to the Regrowth Pendant. It looks like he's going to go for Hextech as well. Mordekaiser ahead in farm, but just by a little bit. Pretty even matchup there. Now here we see going for, once again, advantage of Lee Sin as a jungler. Does not need blue buff. Can give it to the AP carry in middle lane over and over again. Just makes it much easier for your mid laner to win the lane if they can keep getting blue over and over again. And so Speaker, who's already had one blue, is going to get a second blue here at the 11-minute mark, just making it really tough for Swain to lane against him. Now over here, their Amumu has had to take both of the first two blue buffs for the enemy team. That means that Swain can't have them, and that means that Swain is at a disadvantage here in lane. Anyway, there's Q, then W, and there's E. Once again, pulling the ball back, and then the ball goes out again with Q, and notice how easy it was for Speaker to farm those. Should be able to harass. Not quite able to get that last one with an auto attack. So anyway, Q, the full Oriana combo would sort of be Q, then W, and then immediately pulling the ball back to you again with E to get in an extra third hit, maybe using your ult back in there somewhere. But keep them at range. The ball has extremely good range. Like poor Swain, his skills just don't have the range to be able to lane against Oriana. This is just a bad matchup here. There's not a whole lot that this Swain player can do. Anyway, a fight going on in top lane. Lovely did get the kill on Mordekaiser, but then Amumu coming in and cleaning up. Looks like it was a 2v1, and it looks like Lovely was actually able to get a kill out of it. So that's a pretty good job right there. There goes the ball. One thing you have to remember, though, with Oriana, and I made this same mistake when I was playing with Oriana too. Oh, there's the pull, the ultimate back into... back towards Speaker. Is he going to get that kill from Ignite? Doesn't look like it there. Very close, though. Swain may have been able to turn on his ult and get a little life back, so very close there. Anyway, one of the things you have to remember when you're playing Oriana is that where you command the ball to move, if you're not physically carrying the ball, it will move from wherever you last put it. So if you notice there, before Speaker had the ball like right here, and then he told it to attack Swain, and it had to move like all the way up here in order to hit Swain. So you have to, you always have to be aware of where the ball is. You can't just sort of assume that it's with you at all times. Only if you're carrying it do you actually have the ball. It's a mistake I made when I was playing Oriana, who I just picked up Oriana. Haven't had too much of a chance to play her yet, but I'm trying to experiment with her, play around a little bit with her. She's a very fun champion, very strong right now. Like I said, she'll probably be nerfed into the ground soon because she's been so strong, but for the moment, she's a lot of fun to play. Really interesting champ. She's one of the best designed champs in recent months just because she doesn't play like any other champion right now. The way that you have to move the ball around is just different from other AP casters. And at this point in time, that's what we'd like to see. What I'd like to see from Riot at least. Champions that play differently, that don't just use the same mechanics. It's why some of the champions they put out lately have really been a disappointment. Champions like Monkey King. Monkey King only actually has one skill that's at all unique. His stealth that he can use. Other than that, he's not really that interesting of a champ once you get past the fact that, you know, he's this really awesome looking money. Skarner has also been a bit of a disappointment so far. Total whiff there on the ultimate, so not so great there. Speaker, I guess, just thought that the range of the ball was further than it actually was. Anyway, over here, Otis is messing with this Amumu jungler and just forcing him to burn through all his mana. Is his blue up over here, I guess the question. Yes, blue is up over here. Now Otis is going to flash behind, dragon kick that Amumu back. This is really aggressive. I don't think this is good. He's still diving after this kill. I don't think this is a good decision. And oh, Amumu, pro play there. Going to hit on a bandage toss and stun Otis and get that kill there. So very nicely done by the Amumu player. VR Plebiscite right there. So been having a bit of a rough game because he's been counter jungled really hard. But he was able to score a kill there on Otis's Lee Sin. Meanwhile, while that's going on, though, Speaker did come in and steal his blue buff. That's going to make it tough for Amumu to jungle, and once again, Speaker will have blue. It feels like he's had blue the entire game, which, again, the cooldown reduction, the ability to spam skills, just going to make it that much harder to lane against Oriana. And look how much damage it's doing there. Just one QW takes off maybe 20% of Swain's health. And Speaker really was in no damage. Didn't look like he took any damage there. Lovely was able to get a kill on Mordekaiser in top lane. Looks like he was just straight able to get that kill, and unless this health bar is not updating, looks like he isn't even damaged right there. So did a very strong job right there. Anyway, Amumu is coming over here. Speaker has to be careful. Going to get ganked by Amumu if he's not cautious here. And looks like he's going to back out there. So there's just not really a whole lot Swain can do. As I said, he doesn't have the range to cope with this. Doesn't have the range to cope with Speaker's harass. Right there, and there, misses on the W, misses on the dissonance, but did hit on the Q. Oh, right here, Amumu going to go in and apparently trying to pick a fight here. I don't know about this. Otis is here, going to chase that. He's hitting on his Sonic Resonating Strike, or whatever it's called. Right there's the Oriana ult, not quite getting the repositioning right, but is going to do a lot of damage, and Amumu is going to burn ult too. He really probably should have used that earlier in the fight. I think he might have been able to get away, but burns his ult and doesn't get away, so that's a really bad play there. Speaker's going to get the kill, get red buff, and red is actually not terrible on Oriana because she actually does do a lot of damage on her auto attack. You can also get Lichbane on Oriana too. It's actually a pretty good item as far as scaling along with her passive. I wouldn't say it's one of her core items, but you can get it. Anyway, Otis is going up here in top for another gank on this Mordekaiser. Here comes the Kennen electricity dash. I don't know what the skill is actually called. Sorry, there's the stun. Are they going to have enough damage to finish off Mordekaiser? Looks like he's ghosting. Did he bring Ghost to this game? And yes, he did bring Ghost. Okay. Would have expected Flash, but it looks like he brought Ghost instead. So, anyway, there's another Q from Speaker, but no. Oh, look at this harassment. So much damage going in on the Swain. Now, he does have his ultimate, so he can heal up when he runs his ultimate, but still, just a lot of damage. Anyway, in terms of skilling order for Oriana, you want to level up her Q first. It's the most mana-efficient skill. It's also how you reposition the ball. Easiest way to reposition the ball. Deals great damage on a very short cooldown. I believe it's on a 4-second cooldown with no cooldown reduction. So, generally speaking, go for level up her Q first, then her W second. W deals the most damage, at least deals the most base damage. The AP ratio is a little better for her Q, but also gets that slowing effect. More points in it do increase the slowing effect. Oh, and look at this, Speaker going to take blue again. Anyway, as I said, Q first, W second, 1 point in E at level 4, just so you can use it for your combo, and then level it up last, and of course taking your ult whenever it's available at 6, 11, and 16. So pretty standard Oriana build. Anyway, let's check out what's going on down here in bottom lane. The other Caitlyn ahead by quite a bit, 137 to 105. So Nietzsche Stash, that's a pretty good name. So definitely ahead down here in bottom lane. Also has gone back to buy, has a Bloodthirster and boots. Warlord only has a Doran's Blade. Warlord really should have gone back to buy at some point. But anyway, Speaker's going to gank this bottom lane right here, and it looks like the other team does not have a ward. There comes the Oriana ult. Sona going to try to flash out using her ult defensively, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Speaker also does have red buff, so he's slowing right there. And oh, there it is. I'm sorry. It looks like he just used the ult there. Thought he used the ult earlier, but nope. Going to pick up. Did he get both kills? Yes. Storing a double kill. And Nietzsche Stash even prompted to laugh at the absurdity of it all. Anyway, they're clear to go take Dragon if they want. Instead, looks like they're going to push on this bottom turret. Probably the better call. They can take this turret and then go Dragon, I think would be the strongest call here. Speaker looks like he's heading back to mid. If I were Speaker, I would just tell Otis to go cover mid while he goes and does Dragon. Yeah, they really should take Dragon off of this just because it's really there for the taking. Anyway, Termith asking how much gold does Warlord have, and that's a fair question. Warlord should have gone back at some point in time. It's almost the 19-minute mark, and he hasn't gone back even one time. That just, because he hasn't been back, because he only has the Doran's Blade, that means that the other Caitlyn could just beat him up in lane, because the other Caitlyn had a full Bloodthirster on him. So when you don't go back to lane for that long a period of time, it's really a mistake, because when you're sitting on that gold, it's not doing anything for you. And then other people on the other team who have gone back to buy are going to have the itemizing advantage over you and then can push you around in lane. Anyway, Speaker's picked up yet another blue buff. Oh, no, he didn't. It looked like he was over there by the blue. I guess he did not pick it up. I just saw that blue timer. While that was going on, all that fighting was going on, there were two champs in top lane. They ganked Lovely. Lovely was able to survive, but in the process of that, in order to escape from that gank in top, he did take a lot of damage, had to give up the tower. Anyway, we have a fight going on down here in bottom. Otis is going in very aggressively after Caitlyn. There's a dragon kick back away, but Otis is taking a lot of damage right now. This Caitlyn does do a lot of damage. Oh, but Warlord going to pick off Caitlyn with his Caitlyn ult. Caitlyn on Caitlyn action. Otis going down now, and here comes the ignite on this Swain. A good ignite coming in from Speaker. You want to ignite Swain, shut down the healing on his ultimate, and here comes Swain right now. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Amumu ult missing, not hitting Speaker. Speaker was outside the targeting circle of that Amumu ult, was not caught in it, and he was able to score that kill. And now Amumu taking a lot of harassment as well. But at this point, I think they've gotten all they can. Oh, Sona apparently not in that fight. Now they're chasing after Sona right here. Speaker getting stunned under the tower, still chasing. Oh, now going to get bandage tossed by Amumu. And that is going to be a death right there. Sona making it out on 80 HP. Very nicely done by that Amumu to bandage toss in there and break up Speaker's killing spree. So a little too aggressive on the dive. That Sona just so tasty, so tempting over here. Want to get that kill. Instead, if Speaker just backs out, he could steal the blue, march out, live to fight another day. And I don't think anyone actually did Dragon in all that, unless the other team took it. Nice net there from Warlord. I think that's going to allow him to get away from this. Yeah, but if Speaker just backs out, takes the blue buff, and then goes and does Dragon, it's a much stronger play. In any case, a bit of a needless death there, I would have to say. Rather silly. Anyway, let's see if Otis can steal this blue buff here. Looks like he's waiting to try to smite steal this. And let's see. If that Amumu smites early, he should be able to get it. And no, Amumu did take it. Oh no, Otis did get the... Or did Otis already have the blue buff? I'm not sure. Well, somebody got that blue. I'm afraid I'd have to go back to see it, and I'm in the middle of a commentary. I can't check it out. Can't go back and rewind it. One of the weaknesses of this replay system, the unofficial one, you can't go back and check replays. You can't go back and rewind them. Just something that you can't do with this unofficial client. Anyway, chasing after Swain. Otis going in a bit aggressively, but there's a nice never move route, and that's going to allow that Cinch player to, or not Cinch player, going to allow that Swain player to make it out of there with no problems. Overall, Speaker's team ahead by a good margin, ahead 10-5 in kills, ahead by, well, they're not really ahead in farm very much. It's pretty even. Fight going on here on top. Lovely going in against that Mordekaiser player, and he's going to score the kill, and it looks like he's still relatively healthy. So Lovely has really won this matchup. Down in bottom lane, a fight going on, and Warlord able to kill the Caitlyn player on the other team. Could only watch one of the two fights at a time. Meanwhile, now Amumu in some trouble here. Otis entering into the fight. Amumu had better get back under the safety of his tower. Looks like he is going to be okay, but was in a bit of a dangerous position there. Speaker is still laning against this Swain player, but goodness gracious, his ult just, or not his ult, his ball just does so much damage right now. Getting slowed by that laser bird, but still chasing right here. And right there, the ball lagging behind, but here comes Otis, and that is bad news. That is going to be it for that poor Swain player. Let's watch as this bird flies away. Bird mourning the death of Swain, but just going to say, see you later, old man. I'm out of here. Anyway, there is a push going on down in bottom lane. The two Caitlyn's continuing to go at it. Double Caitlyn's, Soraka and Sona just hanging out down here in bottom lane the whole game. Warlord has picked up an Infinity Edge now. Nietzsche Stash has picked up a Bloodthirster, but he just died, so he has no stacks on his Bloodthirster. Going to be a little bit weak. That Dragon still there. No one has taken that Dragon the whole game. Probably the only biggest weakness I've seen so far in the play of Speaker's team has been ignoring these Dragons. Here comes Mordekaiser, so we may have a bit of a fight while this is going on. Chasing after that Mord. Speaker is still over here at the blue buff, just picking up his blue. Anyway, let's see who gets that Dragon, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Let's see who is going to get this Dragon. I swear I'm watching it, and it was taken by the other team. They did not get it. Mordekaiser was able to take it, so a bad smite there from Otis, assuming his smite was up, which hopefully it was. Now still chasing after Mord. Are they going to get this Mordekaiser? And it doesn't look like they're going to get him. So great play by Mordekaiser. He did get that Dragon. I know he got that one. I was watching it. Did not see any gold increase on the part of Speaker while that fight was going on. Meanwhile, Speaker pushing mid. Nobody really over here on the part of the enemy team. Just going to continue farming, continue pushing over here. And he's getting in some pretty good damage on this tower. Anyway, the rest of the team is fighting over here in bottom lane. A lot of, let's see, 4 members of Speaker's team, 3 members of the enemy team. Don't see Mordekaiser. I know that the Swain player was up in top, and Speaker's still pushing on this tower mid. Again, I'm going to use the arrow keys because my mouse, look at what my mouse is doing right now. Look at this cursor. This is ridiculous. So Speaker getting it a lot of damage here, and Ward taking a ton. There's the ultimate right there. Is Speaker going to be able to finish this off? No, he's going to get Mordekaiser ulted, and now Swain has entered into the fight. Going to take a lot of damage, and that Swain entered the fight at just the perfect moment right there in order to get the kill. So Speaker in a lot of trouble, but meanwhile while that was going on, the rest of Speaker's team is pushing on this bottom lane, and they should be able to get this tower because they had to send 2 to deal with Speaker in mid. Looks like they're going to score that turret there. And this other turret here in mid is nearly dead on 170 HP, so very low. It looks like my mouse is working a little bit better right now. Anyway, I do need to get a new mouse, so just something that you probably don't care about, but the truth nonetheless. Oh, there goes the Oriana Ghost. Good thing that they didn't try to team fight while the other team had the Oriana Ghost. Fighting an enemy team when Mordekaiser has a Ghost is pretty much always a bad idea, even if it's a Soraka Ghost. You still don't really want to fight while they've got that, what's effectively a 6th champion on their team. In terms of itemizing, Speaker went for Rod of Ages first. Next, he has now finished Deathcap, has a Sorcerer's Shoes, and it looks like he's going for Spell Vamp of some kind. Looks like he's going for a Hextech Revolver as his next item. Lovely is glowing green, which means he does have Will of the Ancients. So with double AP champs, Oriana and Kennen, that's going to work out pretty well for them. I guess Speaker's also going to go for Will of the Ancients in this match. Double Will of the Ancients does give Spell Vamp to both members of the team. If 2 of you have it, you each do get the benefit. So it's actually not a wasted item if 2 people get it. You don't want more than 2, but 2 will give Spell Vamp to both of the 2 people who have the Will of the Ancients right there. So anyway, Speaker has 444 AP, and his ball just does massive, massive damage right now. Anyway, Mumu hanging out over here. This could be a little bit dangerous if a Mumu bandage tosses in. Lee Sin, Otis is not with them, so they really should not try to fight. Oh, the Caitlyn Warlord is not with them either, so they have to be very careful about this. They don't really want to engage at the wrong moment. Right there, trying to get in a little more harassed. Oriana, great at poking as well. If you, right there, gonna hit on the Q. I didn't see how much damage that this. Caitlyn does have a Negatron Cloak, so she's gonna mitigate some of that damage, but a lot of the rest of the team doesn't have it. We might have a team fight here. Otis is actually getting caught here. This is pretty dangerous. Otis is about to die, but there's a pro Soraka ult right there. Gonna hit everyone down. Oh, the Speaker ball just hitting everyone, doing so much damage, and they are tearing up this team in the team fight right there. Are they gonna be able to catch Mordekaiser? It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get him, but that's a 3 for 0 right there on the part of Speaker's team. The key thing in that fight was Otis was about to die, and then Termeth just hit a great Sona ult, or Soraka ult right in the middle of that, healing everybody on the team. I saw Otis just went from low to healed back up. Anyway, dive going on right there in mid, able to get the kill on each stash. Warlord almost dead, but Speaker's going to toss the ball on him, and that Command Protect just shields for so much. Look at this, shields for 200 plus 266 damage. That is a 500 health or 500 damage shield. Anytime Speaker uses that, and he still hasn't even maxed out this ability yet. So just look at the AP ratios. Bonus damage almost 120, 220 plus 266 on Q, 270 plus 222 on W, and then the 466 damage shield on E. Then the ult deals almost 600 area of effect damage and repositions people. So is it any wonder that this champ is considered to be so strong right now? Oriana just really ridiculous at this point in time. And Speaker's team has established a commanding lead over this game, 18-6 in overall kills. And they're not ahead by that much in farm overall. Swain is a little under farm, but Swain hasn't really played that badly. The biggest mistake he made was dying at level 1 for First Blood. Other than that, Swain hasn't really played that badly. But look at how much damage he's taking here. There's the Oriana ult, gonna force a flash from Swain. And the Oriana ult not even really on that long of a cooldown. With the blue buff, it's only a 60-second cooldown, so that Swain flash gonna be down much longer than that. And Speaker almost able to get the kill there. His blue buff is actually up again, so I'd expect him to go and try to take that. And right there, Swain, again, still hanging around. Swain actually is in kind of a dangerous position right here. He does have his ult, and I guess he has Sona for heals, but still, the Speaker just deals a ridiculous amount of damage right now with him having 400 something AP right now, and then having Spell Vamp on top of that. It looks like don't know why Speaker's recalling on full health, full health, full mana, blue buff, back to base. I guess he wants to buy something, and there's really no need to go back to base right now. So let's see, is it going to be Will of the Ancients here? Yes, going to be Will of the Ancients here. So more ability power, more spell vamp, so more sustain in lane. Oh, down in bottom lane, Warlord able to 1v1 against Swain and just going to survive that ignite. So going to make it out with 160 health. So that's going to be helpful. Going to score another kill. And Warlord actually having a very strong game as well. 505 and 172 minion kills. He's been out farmed by this Caitlyn, but Speaker's team is doing a much better job of keeping Warlord alive. 5-0 against 1-4. I honestly think that Caitlyn outplayed him. The other Caitlyn outplayed him in the lane, but as soon as the laning phase ended, Warlord has definitely had much the better of things when he's been able to teamfight with the rest of his team. Anyway, Speaker on 500 AP right now while he's next to Lovely. Here's the double Will of the Ancient. See how it appears twice on the interface? So they're both getting the benefit. One for themselves and one from the teammate. So there it is. So together, he actually has 50% spell vamp. And how much AP does he get off of that? 60 AP. So 60 AP and 50% spell vamp. Pretty good if you're running a double AP setup. So definitely worthwhile to go for. You certainly want to have one of your two AP solos go for an early Will of the Ancients. Maybe not two necessarily, but getting one so that both of you can benefit in team fights. Definitely a good idea. Will of the Ancients is a pretty good item. Something I've undervalued a lot in the past, but is a good item. Anyway, there's a dragon pickup there. If Speaker drinks his blue pot, his elixir of brilliance, he'll get even more cooldown reduction and even more ability power. His blue is about to run out, but it looks like he can claim his own blue. I guess Speaker has the enemy team's blue from some fight before. Are they going to toss down a Vision Ward at Baron? Double Vision Wards at Baron. Maybe for that price, you should have just gotten an Oracle, I feel like. And that's going to give them vision. No wards by the enemy team, so they can look to do Baron relatively soon. It's something that they should be looking to do because the enemy team doesn't have vision. A nice warding job here. So ward here, and there's another ward right here, and then vision wards here, ensuring that there are no wards of the enemy team. So they can look to go for this relatively soon. There comes a ward from Mordekaiser, and it's going to die instantly thanks to those vision wards right there. So bye-bye ward. We'll see you another day. Speaker looks like he is going to pick up blue, so he's just gone from one blue to the next. He's really had blue buff almost the entire game, and again, one of the benefits of Lee Sin jungle. Anyway, Swain getting caught out a little bit right here. Are they going to engage on him? There's an Ignite going in. Oh, a Dragon Kick coming out from Otis, and they're going to burst down Swain before this fight even starts. Now engaging on the rest of the team. Terma taking a lot of damage. There's another Soraka ult, perfectly done. So much area of effect damage here. Everyone just getting absolutely destroyed, and Otis is going to score a triple kill right there, and they can, from here, they can push over at least an inhib, but nope, that's going to be GG right there. End of the game. 4-vote surrender coming in, and that's that. So Speaker's team got ahead early, jumped all over this match. Caitlyn, I guess, acknowledging a game well played. Anyway, let's look at the stats and wrap this up. Okay, feel free to check out the numbers and all the items that people bought up there. Was a bit of a stomp as far as games goes. Wasn't really that close, but was an interesting game. It was fun to talk about some of the different things that were going on in this match. In middle lane, it just kind of went downhill for Swain. Starting at that first blood, Speaker was able to get a nice first blood. He harassed the Swain down and then was able to jump in there with Ignite and Flash, finish off Swain, get the kill, get out, take that first blood, and Swain never really was able to recover from that. Now, two other things that went into that. Remember, Swain started with a Doran's Ring, so he did not have any health pots, which meant as he took harassment in lane, he wasn't able to heal up, and that set him up to be in a position where Speaker was able to burst him down and claim first blood. Secondly, because Speaker's team was running a Lee Sin jungle, Lee Sin not needing blue buff to jungle, that meant Speaker was free to take blue, and that allowed him to maintain his laning dominance from that first blood. Just had blue buff for almost the full first 15 minutes and just was spamming his skills. QW, QW, QW. And even though Swain has his ult and has a lot of sustainability himself, Swain was just not able to stick in lane, saw his tower pushed over around the 12-minute mark, and also suffered a second death when he got aggressive, tried to fight, and then the Otis, again, the jungle Lee Sin was right there to join in and score another kill there. Elsewhere, Lovely really was able to win that top lane. Mordekaiser was ahead in farm early, but as Lovely got more farm, he flipped that around, and the 6-1 against 1-5 really speaks for itself up there. Just was able to win that lane decisively. And somewhat similar in the bottom lane as well, Warlord was behind in farm throughout the laning phase, but then after the laning phase, as soon as the team fighting phase began, he just started getting a whole bunch of kills, and Speaker's team was able to do a better job of protecting him. The other Caitlyn, Nietzsche Stash, actually still way ahead in farm over Warlord, even at the end of the game, 240 43 to 175, but that Caitlyn player just was not able to stay safe because Mordekaiser and Swain were dying in every team fight, and then everybody could jump on Caitlyn, as opposed to Speaker's team, where Lee Sin and Kennen and Oriana were able to stay out in front and help keep Caitlyn alive. So that's partly why the numbers look so lopsided there. Anyway, good game all around. I do want to mention Termith as well. Had some nice Soraka ults in those fights to keep people alive, particularly when Otis was about to get bursted down. Anyway, so that's really all there is to say about this one. Wanted to do an Oriana video. I did purchase her myself, but haven't had enough of a chance to play her to really get used to her mechanics yet. Anyway, hope you watched this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. Until then, see you later, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.